helpful there. An uptick in demand is expected given that things are picking up across the rural areas and the expectation is of a good monsoon as well. Abneesh Roy, Executive Director at Nuvama Institutional Equities, is with us. Abneesh, hi, good morning. That was a pretty exhaustive report that Mangalam put out on the expectations there. But if you had to pick and choose, which are the stars of the earnings season this time around? Which companies could be the stars this time around?
Sure, thanks. Yes, the updates in the FMCG 4 have come and in the retail around 5 have come. In the FMCG space, the volume growth, etc., sales growth and margins all are in line with our published numbers of Q1 preview. But in the jewelry space, clearly Titan has disappointed Street. We had downgraded Titan stock a few months back and we see slightly more pressure there. So clearly, studded has also grown slower for Titan, so the margins will be under pressure. Coming to FMCG, yes, the results are decent given the heat wave, lack of marriage days, elections impacting liquidity and definitely manpower also in few sectors. I think the results updates are decent, but the sector is benefiting because of sector rotation from the investors. If you see the kind of up move we have seen in the sector, in the stocks in the last 1 month, 2 months, I would say that we had already called that out, but good to see that before actual full recovery, we are seeing a lot of the stocks show that. In terms of Q1, definitely we expect that there will be few companies which will see very strong numbers. So clearly Varun Beverages, Imami, Godrej Consumer, Marico, Dabur, etc. all have seen decent number. Even Adani Wilmar is seeing good recovery. So we expect Adani Wilmar next 1 year should be very strong, good volume growth and pricing also coming back. But from the bigger companies of the sector like HUL, ITC, Asian Paints, we expect weak performance in Q1. But in those stocks, the valuation comfort is high. So if any investor wants to play the consumption revival, but is willing to wait for the Q1 weak numbers of these three companies, I think post the results, it's a very good time to accumulate HUL, ITC, Asian Paints also, but from a 1 year perspective. But from a near-term perspective, our topics will be essentially companies which are doing well in the near term. So Varun Beverages, Imami, Britannia, Godrej Consumer. We also like Nestle and Bikaji in that. But United Breweries will be impacted negatively in Q1 because of the election-related impact. So there are slightly weak numbers there.
Okay, all right, Abneesh, thanks a lot for joining in. And good call on Titan. And you're saying you continue to remain negative. The stock has seen a lot of pressure. What's the target price you have on Titan? And I think on the flip side, Imami, you all were one of the first to call out, I think, that things are turning for them and you all were quite positive. What is the target price out there? That's been a big mover, Imami.
Yes, Imami, we expect that in Q1, you will see close to double-digit sales growth and strong volume growth in most parts of the business, except Kesh King and in their Fair and Handsome portfolio. Those two will see a YOY dip, but rest of the portfolio will be very strong for Imami. Even HPC will be strong. And we expect that in the coming 3 quarters also, because Imami has almost half of the business, India business from rural, we expect double-digit sales growth and double-digit EBITDA growth to continue for Imami. So we remain positive. The stock has moved up very sharply in the last 1.5 months. So we will be looking to upgrade our target price when the next note comes. But we see that 15-20% kind of upside from here also is possible in Imami. Because still, if you see, even after this up move, the stock remains relatively cheap in spite of a double-digit kind of a sales growth and EBITDA growth coming back to the business. International is also doing well for Imami. On Titan, we see that, yes, even Q2, we see weak numbers. So Q2, if you see, base margins are quite strong. Yes, marriage days, there will be some recovery. But in terms of overall sales momentum, we see Kalyan growing faster given the franchisee addition is very strong. So we remain underweight on Titan. Our sense is, although stock has corrected meaningfully, next 3 months, there is a lack of trigger. I think H2 is the time where the marriage days and a lot of the gold pricing impact, etc., will be behind. But concern on lab-grown diamond remains, as of now, that remains a monitorable. So we see that from here, maybe the stock correction on absolute basis is limited, but time correction is possible. But from a 1 year perspective, after Q2, I think the stock can give 10 to 12% return. But Q2 results will also be weak for Titan in our view.
Got it. Got it. One of the top ideas I think you have, which you have sounded positive on, was Godrej Consumer. They came out with their quarterly update and I didn't see any big problem out there, but maybe the stock ran up in anticipation. It's currently down more than 2%. You continue to remain positive out there. And what was your analysis of the operational performance?
Yes, Godrej Consumer stock had run up. You're absolutely right. The update was exactly in line with our expectation. So yes, what are the weaker points of the results? Because there are a lot of strong points in the numbers. I think in Africa, the double-digit volume dip is a proactive step by the company because they are looking at a profitable business in the Western Africa, where they have taken proactive steps to cull the loss-making businesses or low-margin business. That's a proactive step. We expect Africa business to come back to low single-digit volume growth from Q2. I think that was a slight negative. The other negative we had already called out in the preview that house mosquito repellent business in Q1 will be flat on YOY basis because of the heat wave. We expect that a disruptive launch in mosquito repellent will happen very soon, and that will be a key monitorable for the stock. If it does well, we can have a double-digit growth in mosquito repellent visibility from next quarter. But if it does not do well, then I think the stock would correct a bit. But it remains a strong top-tier performance in this quarter. Also, Q1 was a strong performance in most of the key parameters.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, that is what you can expect from the FMCG space. Let's slip into a quick break. On the other side, we'll put focus on the commodity space with Manisha Gupta. Stay tuned.